What's going on, everybody? Welcome into a special edition of the Zander Krause Show. Having some issues here with X, but we won't get bogged down by that. We will go live here. Tons of stuff happening in the NFL world already on this legal tampering day in the NFL. News breaking everywhere. A massive deal for a cornerback comes in. Crazy money to an edge rusher. And I'm talking crazy money to an edge rusher here to kick off the start today to Khalil Mack. 36 years old. I'll tell you a little bit about that deal in just a second. A couple guys being released as well that could get freed up into the ether, where the Eagles maybe could take a shot. A guy like a Grady Jarrett, who was just released from the Falcons, a great defensive tackle. Could he be an option for this Philadelphia Eagles team? So we're here live on JAKIB Sports. We'll be doing live reactions all day to the news that comes down from free agency and the legal tampering. That's just 17 minutes away from kicking off. Major issues across the whole ether with X being down. So many people rely on X to get their instant news of the NFL, but that's currently down right now. So we will work on getting that up. It's one of the reasons I was late here. Good to have everybody in here. Texas T, Bird Gang Girl, Eagle Nest, Anthony Chops. What's up, brother? Philly Don, Kyle Kokorski, Bird Gang Girl, flexing and stepping. Good to see everybody in here. All right. I appreciate all of you guys being here. It's been a crazy couple of days in the NFL world, and it started off yesterday with some crazy deals. Myles Garrett got a massive deal, massive, over $200 million, $123 million guaranteed. That's a 30-year-old edge rusher getting another $123 million guaranteed. Safe to say that Myles took the money and felt all right about it. Again, I know people like to say, oh, Myles Garrett doesn't want to win. I'm not going to go down that road, okay? I'm not going to go down that road. I'd like to see what any of you would do if I threw $123 million in your face. I know how you guys act when I offer a jersey, let alone $123 million fully guaranteed dollars. So holy crap, what a deal for Myles Garrett here. How about that DK Metcalf deal? A little sign and trade. The Pittsburgh Steelers go out. They trade for DK Metcalf. They give him a 5-year, $150 million contract. Now, I think it's a good fit in Pittsburgh. They didn't have the receivers that they needed there, but I am not the biggest DK Metcalf guy in the world. I'll say that. I think he's a little bit of a less polished version of A.J. Brown, if that makes sense. He's that big-bodied guy, super athletic, a physical freak, but I don't think he has that. I don't think he's as polished. I think he's a little more rough around the edges with DK Metcalf. I don't think he's as good as A.J. Brown. So big money for him, but I do think it's a good ad for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Johnny Mack liked that move a lot on Birds 365. How about Davante Adams to the Rams? Davante Adams to the Rams. Now, John called it a bit of a downgrade from Cooper Kupp because he thought Cooper Kupp fit that offense well. Now, I don't agree. I think Davante Adams in LA is a great fit. I think Matthew Stafford's the right quarterback for that type of a player. Kind of an Aaron Rodgers type of quarterback, right? Where they're super accurate, great arm ability, gets the ball out quick, can fit that ball into tight windows, got a laser for an arm. So I think it's good, man. I think Davante Adams could revive himself a little bit in LA. And that LA team is a team to watch. Remember, they had Jared Verse, they had Cam Kitchens, they had Braden Fisk, all rookies last year on that defense, and that defense was really good in the playoffs. Remember what they did to the Vikings offensive line? They had 9 sacks in that game, and then you heard Johnny Mack tell the story today about when they went up against the Eagles in the playoffs, and Jordan Mailata said off the record to the beat reporters, that's a good defensive line. Those guys are tough to block. So there's no doubt about it. That team is going to be a lot better now with Stafford returning, with Davante Adams in the fold. The one thing I would say is they better improve that offensive line a little bit. I think their offensive line was middle of the pack last year, and, you know, skill players are great. Position players are great. Receivers are great. Running backs are awesome. If you don't have a great offensive line, in a way, it's all for naught. So I'm curious to see how they improve that offensive line. But so far, they've done a couple of good moves. I like that Davante Adams move to LA. So we'll see how good they are. A couple of guys on the market right now. How about Jonathan Allen? Jonathan Allen, released by the Commanders. He's a great player. I think he'd be a great replacement for Milton Williams. I don't know what his price tag would be. You know, I threw out 1 year, $8 million because we had Jason Cole, who's a Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, on the National Football Show on Friday. He threw out 1 year, $8 million. I think it's going to be more than that. I thought it was going to be more than that when Jason said it, and me and Sills talked about it on Friday. But if that's the price, shoot, I'm jumping at that. I am jumping at that. Now, I don't think it's going to be that. And Daz brings up another good name here. He says, I'm in on Grady Jarrett. So right before X went down and all the news was trickling in on the NFL world, I did see that Grady Jarrett was released. I think that would be another great fit. But again, what type of money are we talking about with Grady Jarrett? I think there's a big question there, and it's going to be interesting to see, what type of market he has, and if the Eagles are going to be players. You go to that edge rusher. I told you guys that edge rusher deal with Khalil Mack, 35 years old, $18 million fully guaranteed. 35. Like, anybody you see that's old that you're like, oh, maybe he'll get a pay cut or maybe he'll be a little cheaper. Jonathan Allen's 30. I don't know how old Grady Jarrett is. Let me get the stats on Grady Jarrett for you guys. He's 31 and he's an April birthday, so he's 32 next month. He'll be 32 at the start of next year. So I don't know how much you want to pay for him. 35-year-old Khalil Mack just got $18 million and they fully guaranteed the deal. So, these guys are going to get big money. All of these players that you're talking about, this is the land of people getting overpaid. This is what happens at this time of the year. Now, Grady Jarrett played 17 games last year. He had 2.5 sacks. He had 53 tackles, 30 solo tackles. So a pretty good year for him, honestly. Anytime 9 tackle for losses. That's a player that played in the backfield. I like him as a replacement for Milton Williams. I just don't know what type of money he's going to command. I mean, Daz, I'm with you. I saw your tweet to me before Twitter went down. Mind-blowing. I was thinking Khalil Mack would be 10 mil, 12 mil maybe. I mean, 18 million, and it was fully guaranteed, Daz. I mean, just crazy stuff there. So interesting that's how it broke. But look, this is why the Eagles do business typically the way that they do, is where they pay big money to people in-house, because once people get to the open market, this is what happens. This is always why the last couple of weeks on the shows we've talked about, boy, if these guys don't get signed early, it's going to be it's going to be tough to get them back in Philly because, they're dangling, a bag in front of their face, man. Dangling a bag in front of their face. Hey, Mekhi Becton, I know you liked Philly, but how's $16 million fully guaranteed sound for 4 years? Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Yo, Milton, I know you loved Philly. How does $25 million guaranteed sound per year? That sounds pretty good. Yo, Josh Sweat. How old's Josh Sweat? How old is Josh Sweat? Because he's going to get a huge bag. Josh Sweat is 27. He turns 28 in 19 days. He turns 28 in 19 days. He's not 20. He's 27 now. 28 March 29th. All right. 28 March 29th. A 35-year-old just got 18 million fully guaranteed, and he had 6.5 sacks last year. Josh Sweat had 8 sacks last year. He's 28 years old. What's he going to get? 24 million guaranteed? 22 million? 20 million? Like, the market is just insane right now. Yeah, Mike says, Harold Landry got 14.5. Harold Landry's not that good of a player, dude. Harold Landry's solid, but he is not that good. Put it this way, if we signed Harold Landry for that, I wouldn't be all that pumped. Yeah, I think you're right. I think 25 million. I think 25 million is right on the number. Has Twitter returned? Can anybody let me know if Twitter has returned? Let me refresh it over here and say. I'm getting a little bit of action. It's not quite fully firing on all cylinders, but it's loading up a little bit. So I'm not live on Twitter right now. We're just live on YouTube, Facebook, my other YouTube channel, Twitch, and some of the others. But I don't really use Twitch. We don't use Twitch much. I just use it as a backup. All right? Backup for clips and stuff if I need it. But, yeah. Wayne says, I identify as a top flight edge rusher. Show me the money. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy what's going on in that with that regard. And look, this is why the Eagles get a house. This is why the Eagles do contracts early. And you see some of the Eagles contracts come in, you're like, holy shit, what a big number. And then free agency happens, and you're like, what the fuck? Like Jalen Carter next year. All right, this is let me lay this out for everybody. Think about this. You got Jalen Carter upcoming. You got Nolan Smith upcoming. You got Jordan Davis upcoming. You now have two rookie stars in Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. You have Reed Blankenship, who's going to get a new deal. You have Nakobe Dean, who's going to be due for a new deal. You obviously just got Zach Bond done. And these are all coming on the defense. How about that J.C. Horn deal? 4 years, $100 million. I don't know what his guaranteed money is, and Twitter's all bent out of shape, so I can't really go look at it. But what is Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell going to make in a couple of years? I mean, we must capitalize on this moment, on these next couple of years, because if you don't, and then you got to start paying all these defensive guys, that's when serious roster change happens. Like, right now, it's inconceivable to many that the Eagles would move on from a star player on offense, and A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley, one of the offensive linemen. It's inconceivable, and I'm with you. I don't think they will, nor do I think they should. But in the future, looking ahead a year, 2 years ahead right now, those are the type of paydays that come that force you to have serious roster change. Why did the Chiefs get rid of Tyreek Hill? The Eagles would never get rid of A.J. Brown. Well, a couple years down the line, when J.C. Horn's getting deals for $100 million and Cooper DeJean's doing 2 years and Quinyon Mitchell's doing 2 years, that's when you're still going to start to see turnover. So the Eagles have to capitalize on this moment right here. All right. The Eagles are going to have to capitalize on this moment right here. I will keep everybody posted on everything going on. So I have the NFL Network on TV right now. Top 10 available free agents. Guess who is number one? After the signings today, guess who was number one on the NFL Network's list right there? It was Milton Williams. Milton Williams. So 5 minutes away from the legal tampering period beginning, the legal negotiating period, as John corrected me many times leading up to this point, is 5 minutes away from kicking off. It doesn't look like anybody's live on Twitter. So, it's funny. I tweeted out, and I had one guy, I was all upset at me. Everybody loves to criticize Elon Musk. Oh, I hate Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a Nazi. Elon Musk is and then they have an aneurysm when Twitter's down for 20 minutes. All right? If you're crying that Twitter is down, I better never hear you criticize Elon Musk again. Okay? I don't want to hear it anymore. All right. So enough of the criticisms of Elon Musk when you rely on his platform to get all of your freaking Eagles news. All right. So Bird Gang Girl says, I hate Twitter and Elon. Well, Bird Gang Girl, the reason that we have news so quick to share with you here on YouTube is because Twitter is the greatest source to share that news out quickly. So no, I just find it funny. John uses a quote that I crack up at all the time, and he goes, hypocrites don't care about hypocrisy. And I had one dude who was tweeting, oh, Elon did this bad and this bad and this bad. I'm like, dude, I don't care. All right. I just use Twitter to get news, to talk to the Eagles community, and to promote my work. All right. To promote my work. That's it. So no, it's pretty funny. Pretty funny, the hypocrisy around that. But no, it is down right now, and we'll see if that returns. But some of the news is on hold. How about some of the other deals that came down in the NFL? I had them. Let me see if I can pull. I had the list of them. I better start saving my stuff off Twitter because it's no longer a viable source if it's going to keep going down on us, right? It's going to keep going down on us, but we'll see. So the list that came out, though, yesterday was crazy. You had Devontae Adams. How about the Josh Allen deal? By the way, I think Jalen Hurts is next. I know it's one of those things that's like, we could push that off, but I don't think they're going to. I really don't. I think with Josh Allen's deal getting done, you're probably going to see a little bit more of more quarterback deals coming in the pipeline. Sam Darnold, I see Devin Shanahan talking about him. We'll see what he gets in the open market, but you got to think the Eagles are going to try and get ahead of it again, give Jalen a big-ass contract extension, probably push the cap hits even further because I think the first big cap hit is 27. 26 or 27. So we will see. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did that for Jalen Hurts this summer. Zane Manning checks in. J.C. Horn contract is outrageous, or is it just me? Zane, it is not just you. Like, I know he's a good player, but $100 million, $25 million a year. What was the guarantee on the J.C. Horn deal? What was the guarantee on the J.C. Horn deal? 4-year, $100 million. Let me see if I can get the guarantee. $70 million guaranteed. $70 million guaranteed. I mean, that is insane. I think Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell were better than him in year one. Quinyon and Coop, in my opinion, were better than JC in year one. Like, we're looking at massive paydays coming. We're looking at enormous paydays coming for this Eagles defense. So we have to capitalize. That's why, I mean, look, for all the people saying get rid of Dallas Goedert, dude, don't get rid of Goedert now. Get rid of him in a year or two. Get rid of him in a year or two when you got to pay all these defensive guys, because that's when we're going to have real roster turnover. And to get rid of Goedert now in this window, I don't think it makes sense. But, you know, I know people have talked about that, and that seems to be the main topic of conversation around Eagle land right now. But I wouldn't get rid of Goedert. I've said that very clearly. I think he's worth keeping around. I would give him an extension, keep him around in Philly for another couple of years while the Super Bowl window is wide open before you have to pay all these defensive dudes. And, you know, you can't afford a drop-off at that position right now. I just don't think it's a good idea. I know some of you push back and say you can't afford a drop-off there. Well, I can't really say I fully agree, but, you know, my Twitter is still down, so we'll keep an eye on that and see. Let me check NFL. No, they're at commercial right now, so I'll keep everybody posted as the deals come flying in at noon. It's now 20 seconds away from noon, which means the legal tampering period has started. So my bet would be when Twitter returns, we're going to get about 20 deals in one, and we'll do it all here live, a reaction right here on JAKIB Sports with all of you guys. Let me get to a couple of super chats. Brian Pumper. What is y'all's infatuation with signing these old geezers? I'm looking for ball players, not an entrance greeter at Walmart. Well, Brian, you got to fill out your roster. I mean, can't pay everybody. Can't pay every young Bryce Huff $18 million a year. So you got to find some value somewhere. Josh Herman checks in. What's up, Josh? Big Z had to step away after the Super Bowl win. What's your opinion on Joey Bosa? I don't know if he would fit our locker room. I think he'd be a good player. I mean, he's obviously pretty productive. I don't know what type of money he's going to get, but, you know, I don't know. Now, I know, look, I'm of the same opinion of everybody. Who gives a shit what his politics are? That's not really what I'm going for here. I'm wondering how he specifically would ingrain in the Philadelphia Eagles locker room, which is now a championship locker room. This is championship culture, championship pedigree, championship DNA. They have a camaraderie. They have a leadership contingency. They have a group of people that are the voices in the locker room. How does Joey Bosa fit into that? You know, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe he doesn't need to be a guy who – maybe you can shut the fuck up in the locker room every day and just go out and play and get sacks. I don't know. I like to think that there's a bigger human element to locker rooms and to football and to sports. I know there was an element when I played. I mean, what goes on in your locker room in a way is a look at your team. I know that from when I played hockey, right? The closer our locker room was, the more fun that we had in the locker room, the more that we could joke and go back and forth and communicate with one another, the better the team that we were, the better team we were. So if Joey doesn't fit that, I don't know. And again, it's not about the power. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Vote for Trump. I voted for Trump. I've told you guys that. I've told all of you that. I don't care who somebody votes for. I want the best outcome for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. I don't know if he is that. I agree, though. He's a good player, but he might get a big bag of money. John Castiglione. I like that name. Now, John, that is a nice name, brother. Castiglione. I love it. I love it. What's up, brother? Rams still need to improve their run defense. Yeah, they do. But they do have a good defensive line, John. They do have to improve the run defense. There's no doubt, because a couple of those guys I named on that D-line, you know, Braden Fisk, Jared Verse, a couple of those other guys, they're great pass rushers. But you're right. They do struggle against the run. And, you know, that's ultimately going to be maybe what cost them versus a team like us. So We'll see what happens with that. But I do agree with that. I think they're getting better, though, John. I like McVay. I like Stafford. Let's be real here. I mean, Stafford is an all-time quarterback. I mean, you could, if somebody put him in their top 5 quarterbacks, I wouldn't be upset at it. He's that good. Now he's falling off a little bit. I think the age has gotten him a little bit, but he's still got it. He can still sling that rock. So I like Stafford a lot. I'm hearing Reddick to the Bucs. Is that what's going on right now? Reddick just signed. What do we got? What do we got? My Twitter is still down. Come on, Elon! I need you, Elon. I need you, Elon. I'm getting some notifications, but my feed is not working. So Hassan Reddick to the Bucs. It looks like 1 year, $14 million. Thank you, JT Philly, for keeping this up for me. Let me check the NFL now. I got it all over there. I really should move my TV from back there to like right in front of me. All right. The internet didn't pay his Wi-Fi. Flex, I pay like 4 Wi-Fis every single month, dude. What are you talking about? Don't pay my Wi-Fi. I don't not pay my bills, Flex. Come on. Bucs can have Reddick. I did not like his gap, discipline, and contain. I don't know. They got a pretty good unit over there. And the other thing, Midnight, is Todd Bowles is a great defensive mind. So he's gonna know how to get Reddick in situations where he can rush the passer. So we'll see. Daniel Belfield, JAKIB is keeping the offseason entertaining. Let's go. Let's go, Daniel. Big day today, brother. Big day today. Reddick going to an NFC contender in the Bucs. I think we play the Bucs. Do we play the Bucs in Tampa again next year? I feel like every year we play the Bucs in Tampa. It's like a good bet every year. Yeah, Bucs just got better. I agree. There's no doubt. Eagle Nest, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I know some people, don't like Hassan Reddick from how it ended here in Philly, but he's a good player, good pass rusher. Obviously didn't have a good year last year, but that was a nightmare year. That was a nightmare year for the Jets and for him and for what he did with the contract. He way overplayed his hand, and now he gets back to a team and on a normal timeline. We'll probably return, be there in all summer at training camp. So we'll see what he's able to do this year. But we'll see what happens. Flexen says it wasn't Reddick's fault. I think it was. What are you talking about, Flex? If you're going to overplay your hand like that, cost yourself millions of dollars. That's on you. Howie didn't value him what he wanted to be valued at. That's not Howie's fault. That's not Howie's fault. Oh, you're saying from the DC change. Well, yeah. But whether you change DCs or not, Reddick was going to want a bigger deal. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I got you, Flex. I see what you're saying. I jumped on you too quick. I got you, bro. I got you. They aren't better without Godwin. Yeah, what's Godwin doing? Is Godwin's a free agent right now? Let's see. Yeah, Godwin as a free agent. That's sketchy. We'll see. Allen is going to the Vikings. Is that done, Daz? Is that done? All right, here we go. Twitter's back on my end a little bit, at least. It looks like it is. I'll see what we got. No, we don't. I don't want that. Reyes says Godwin wide receiver 3. Nah, because I saw some people talking about Kupp wide receiver 3 too, but I don't really think we need that, bro. Like I really, I want to build around what this team did well. Like Reyes, we didn't pass the ball a lot last year, which is fine. We won the Super Bowl and our quarterback had 2,800 passing yards. Like that's pretty absurd. If you told me that before the season last year, I would have been like, what? You're crazy. But that's what happened. So, with our team being built that way, and it obviously worked, it obviously worked. What do you do? What do you do there? I think you try and maximize it. That's why I thought Beckham would be a priority. That's why I thought Goddard would be a priority. Goddard in the blocking game is pretty good. He's a pretty good blocking tight end. So I'm not looking to dole out a lot of resources for wide receiver 3. I'm pretty happy with having Dotson there. Curtis, we got Jahan Dotson. We'll see what Dotson does. Yo, Matt, that deal, Black D23, that deal was crazy, man. $18 million guaranteed for a 35-year-old edge rusher is just wild. It's wild. So we'll see. We'll see how it all works. But Reddick to Tampa, I think, is a good deal. I think it's a good deal. Reddick to Tampa makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I like it from their perspective, actually. And we'll see there. So I'm going to get a rap report and see if Twitter's going like super low or super slow. So it's not really working yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Devin, we're on Blue Sky. I'm Race. I don't use Blue Sky, and I never will. All right? I never will. Eagle Nest becomes a member. I thought Eagle Nest was already a member. Where's my guy, Eagle Nest? Let me double check on this. Come on, Twitter. Come on, Twitter. We all need you for breaking news. Nothing's better than Twitter for breaking news. That's a fact. That is a fact. JAKIB Legend. Thank you, Eagle Legend or Eagle Nest. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate you re-upping that. William, relax, bro. William's going nuts about Twitter. Relax, brother. Dirty Air, relax. Oh, my God. All you guys crying about Elon Musk. I didn't want to make this a political show. I love how people go nuts over Elon Musk. It's funny. I find it to be pretty funny. I don't really give a shit as much as you guys. I really don't. 1 year, $14 million for Reddick with $12 million guaranteed from the Bucs. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty good deal. And I think he gets Tampa Bay better. If you look at that Tampa Bay Bucs defense, I think that Bucs defense is going to be pretty good. And you add Reddick to that, I like that. I think that's pretty good for them. You know, they don't have great edge rushers. They got Vita Vea in the middle. They got Logan Hall, Kalijah Cansey, Shaq Barrett. And Shaq's done, right? They got him back for what, last year at the end of the year? Yeah, they needed edge rushers. Good Lord, they needed edge rushers. They needed edge rushers in a big way. Well, they got one in Hassan Reddick. I actually think that could pan out. I think that could pan out. I think he's a good player. I think he fits them well. And I think, what's his name? Todd Bowles is going to scheme him up well, use him well. So we'll see what they do. Yeah, Browning, I saw that to the Broncos. I saw that. If he took $15 million to be a Super Bowl champion, Reddick, yeah, Dawood, he's not. How do I pronounce your name, by the way? Dawood Jones, is that right? Dawood? Let me know how far off I am on that. I'll try and correct it. I always try and pronounce everybody with the right names. Neil says, I see Becton hitting the open market. The guard market's good right now. Neil, the guard market's insane. The guard market's wild. Becton's about to get a humongous bag of money. Humongous bag of money for Hassan Reddick. Yeah, free agent. So the window is open at 12. Now we don't have Twitter for breaking news, so we got to kind of piecemeal it together. Oh, Chris Godwin back to the Bucs. 3 years, $66 million, $24 million done by Torrey Dandy. So Bucs, there you go. I just saw it on NFL Network. Chris Godwin back to the Bucs. There you go. Godwin's making move, or the Bucs are making moves, and I think that's good. I think that's a good ad. I've always liked Chris Godwin as a player. I thought he was a great player. I think he works well in that system. I think Baker Mayfield's the right quarterback for them. So that's interesting. But, you know, Godwin, 3 years, $66 million. Geez, I thought he'd get a little more than that. $44 million guarantee, but I know he's coming off an injury. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, pretty good stuff. That's a good deal for Godwin. So they lock up Hassan Reddick and Chris Godwin. They're trying to get better. Look, that's enough. This is where I love the NFL because so much can change so quickly. So much can change so quickly in the NFL. And you look at a couple of these teams, and obviously a lot of things have to go right for you to win a Super Bowl and compete late in the year with injuries and all sorts of stuff. But That Bucs team with Baker, if he plays well, if their receivers stay healthy this year, with Hassan Reddick coming off the edge, they have a good overall defense because of Todd Bowles. I could see them being a team that's in the mix in the NFC. I'm not saying they're a top team. They're a team that could be in the mix in the NFC. We'll see what they do. Leon Banks, what's up, Leon? Bucs in LA making moves. NFC going to be a war zone. I'm not ready to go there yet, but there's no doubt the Bucs and LA are both making moves. All right. William says, Trey Hendrickson, get it done, Howie. William, I'm actually liking this deal more and more. But, dude, here's the question on it. All right. Here's the question. If you're going to send, what would it be? A late 2 or 3, I think I saw for him. And then what are you going to pay him? He led the NFL in sacks last year. Khalil Mack had 6.5 sacks last year and just got $18 million guaranteed. So, like, what are you going to pay him? I'm not talking about the draft pick. I'll trade the draft pick. He's going to get $35 million. He's going to get $35 million. That's too much. That's too rich. Too rich. Yeah, the Khalil, Curtis, I don't understand. I really don't understand that contract at all for them. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, 35-year-old, 6.5 sacks last year, and you give him $18 million fully guaranteed on a 1-year deal? I mean, they must really like him over there, because I don't like him nearly as much as that. Yeah, there are, Slagger. There's no doubt about that, my man. Slagger says there are some dumb FGMs in this league. There is no doubt. Bud says time to stockpile picks for 26 and 27. You know, Bud, I do wonder if this is going to be part of the plan, Bud, but the window is open. So I think Bud, here's the question. How do you go for it this year while also stockpiling picks? Because I do think next year's draft is going to be better than this year's draft. I think 26 and 27 will have better drafts. So how do you go for it this year while stacking picks? I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. You know, you're probably going to get some comp picks from Milton, Sweat, maybe Becton as well. Yeah, Garrett just set the mark. You're going to have to pay good for an edge. You're going to have to pay crazy money. Go get Grady Jarrett. I like that. I like Grady Jarrett. I think he'd fit well here. I could see that. I could see that pretty good. I could see that. Carmine, what's up, Carmine? Bucs re-signed Chris Godwin, 3 years, 66. We got that one. I think that's a pretty good deal for them. I think the Bucs are going to be a good contender. I think the Bucs could be a good contender moving forward here. If you guys see breaking news, drop it in the chat, all right? A couple of times. It's all right if you spam it a couple of times. Don't go crazy with it, but drop it in 2 or 3 times and I'll see it. All right, I'll see it. So appreciate it here. Curtis checks in. O-line Jalen Moore to a 2-year, $30 million deal with the Chiefs. Yeah, I knew the Chiefs were going to have to do something on the O-line. What's he, 49? He's a former 49er, right? 27 years old. Just turned 27 too, so he'll be 27 all year next year. $15 million a year. What's up, Carmine? Good to see you in here, my man. Oh boy, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. He was a 25th rated. So is he going to play tackle for them? He's going to play tackle for them, right? Wow, he had no penalties. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's a big overpay. But dude, that shows you that. Yeah, I agree, Carmine. $15 million. They can't be getting him $15 million to be a guard. I think he's been a tackle. I don't know. I like the player, but that's big money for him. Yeah, we're live, Mad Bird. We're live, brother. We're live. We're live. Free agency frenzy. The free agency frenzy. Twitter's down, so we're not getting breaking news as fast as we would like here, but let's see if it's back up. Let's see if it's back up. What's up, Tony? Any other moves coming in? Any other moves coming in? Yeah, big rhythm. On second thought, I do think you're right about that. I just think the money's gotten so crazy. Big rhythm, it wouldn't surprise me if he went into the open market. Somebody probably would have given him 25, 26 million, maybe even more than that. I mean, dude, people go so desperate at this time. People go so desperate at this time that me get Rappaport open and see if it's just not working well. Yeah, Chris Godwin's back. Hassan Reddick to the Bucs. We saw that. Jalen Moore to the Chiefs. I don't love that deal. $15 million. I don't know. Maybe Andy knows something I don't. Maybe Andy knows something I don't. But $21 million. Who's that for, Flex? Who's that for? Who's that for? Who's that guaranteed money for, Flex? For Jalen Moore? Yeah, that's big money. Yeah, Jalen Moore. That's Slager, that's actually not really how it would work because the guarantees probably end after 2 years. So he's probably getting 22. It's just probably not going to be that third year. That would be my guess. If $44 million is guaranteed over a 3-year deal, most of that $44 million probably comes to him in the first 2 years. So you can look at it as $22 million a year. What would be better to do would be it's probably a 2-year deal, not a 3-year deal. Whatever. I'm not going to argue with you on a contract. We'll see what he gets. He got $44 million. If he's gone in 2 years and he was paid out $44 million, Slagger, what's the average? Go on, Slags. No, if he's gone in 2 years and he got $44 million, it is 22 average. It's just that the third year is extra icing on the cake. The third year is extra icing. It still is $22 million a year. If he plays in Tampa for another 2 years and gets $44 million, I mean, come on, Slager. Yeah, I don't need to do the math for you. We'll see. Keegan, what's up, Keegan? The Eagles should trade Dallas for a 4th-round pick, our 1st and 4th-round picks for a top 12 pick and pick up Tyler Warren in the draft. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. Trade Dallas for a 4th-round pick, trade our 1st and 4th-round pick for a top 12. You think a 32nd overall pick and a 4th rounder is going to get you up to number 12? Come on, man. That's not happening. That's not happening. What's a king to a god? What's up, brother? Appreciate you being here. Salute Zander in chat. What do you think about getting Zadarius Smith since the Lions are releasing him? He'd be cheap. I don't know. I like him. How productive was he last year? Breaking news, the Cowboys still suck. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Carmine's more on cue here. He's more on cue here. How many sacks did he have last year? 4 sacks last year, 3 tackle for losses. Oh. How old is Zadarius Smith? 32 years old. He'll be 33 in September at the start of the year. Who's going to pick up Sam Darnold? That's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, but Carmine says it right here. Carmine says we had to give up a 3 to move up 3 spots when we traded with Dallas to get Devontae. Yeah, it wasn't even 3 spots, Carmine. Remember, we went from that year was interesting, Carmine, because we had the 2 first-round picks, and then we went from 6. Remember, we started at 6, and then 2 weeks before the draft, we traded back to 12. Remember, we went from 6 to 12, and then we went from 12 to 10. And then Dallas drafted Micah at 12. We drafted Devontae at 10. Yeah, we went back from 6. So that was how he was shaking and baking that year, man. He went back. He ended up adding picks to ultimately get Devontae Smith. That was a really good move by Howie Roseman to do all that. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening there. Yep, good stuff, Carmine. I remember that well. We're not giving up a 4th-round pick and 32 to move up 18 spots. That's not happening. That's not happening. 20 spots. That's not happening. Braxton Berrios gets a deal done, it looks like. 1 year, $2 million deal. Not very big there, but that's fine. That's inconsequential. That's not a mover. Illuminati, what's up, Illuminati? Xander, I think whatever the biggest need is, they move up in the draft to give up some picks for next year if we can win another Super Bowl. We'll see what they end up doing. They're not in really a great position to move up, man. They're really not. Joey B, what's up, Joey B? Good to see you in here, my man. Good to see you in here. Galman, 3 years, $42 million with the Bears. Dude, some of these contracts in this NFL is just crazy, man. Let me see if I can get Twitter up. Twitter is still not working for your boy. Come on, Twitter. Come on, Twitter. I would say it's my Wi-Fi, but my Wi-Fi is perfect, unlike Flex alluded to. Flex, I got the best Wi-Fi in the game. Come on, Flex. What's going on with his hat? Keeps creating a crease in the middle. You see that? I don't like that. I don't like the crease. Who's going to go for Aaron Rodgers? Yo, if the Giants got Aaron Rodgers, do you think they could compete this year? Not compete, but like, could they win 8 games? 9 games? 10 games? Ukraine is hacking Twitter. Honestly, it might be possible. It might be possible. I don't know. I already mentioned Elon Musk once on this show, and people went nuts in the chat. I am hardwired, Matthew. I'm hardwired, brother. I'm hardwired. I am hardwired. We'll see. Would you trade Goddard and another pick to move up for Warren? If so, what pick? Well, where are you going to get Warren at? I think he's going top 15, Wayne. So you got to go from 32 to top 15. Wayne, you're going to have to send another first-round pick to move up that high. Zelensky ain't coming for shit, Flex. Come on. You don't have the cards, Zelensky. Flex is going to get me in trouble today. Everybody's going to be all upset. Politics! Elon Musk! Oh, my God. You guys are funny. I've never seen so many grown people act like children when they talk about politics. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I do get a kick out of it. I will say that. If Warren, see, this is interesting, Daz. If Warren falls to 20, watch out. But I still don't think we have the ammunition to go up that high. Then you got to go up 12 picks. What do you have to send to go up 12 picks? And also remember, you're giving up 32, which isn't great, especially in this draft. So I don't know. Like, I think this is more likely what Eagle Nest says. Loveland at 32. I think that's fair. I think that could be an option. He's not my favorite, to be honest with you. I like him, but I don't see it. I like him. I don't see him as being an immediate replacement for Goddard like I would with Tyler Warren. I don't think he's on Warren's level or really even close. I'd almost say, is Loveland at 32 a better pick than – would you rather take – all right, here's a scenario. Would you rather take Loveland at 32 and then an edge in round 2? Or would you rather take an edge at 32 and then pick up who's that Mason guy? Why am I blanking on his name? What's that Mason guy's name? Mason Taylor? Is that it? Yeah, and then get Mason Taylor in the second round? That I like a little better. Or Walter Nolan. I don't think Mason Taylor's going to last to round 3. I think it'd be around 2. Maybe it'd be around 3. Yeah, like I'd rather go edge at 32 because it's a more valuable position. Here we go. Flexing. ESPN sources, former Falcons center Drew Dalman reached agreement on a 3-year, $42 million deal that includes $28 million guaranteed with the Bears. All right, here's what I like about what the Bears are doing. The Bears woke up and finally decided, hey, the only way we're going to be good is not having 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a running back, and a quarterback. We need an offensive line. So the Bears are making moves, another move on the offensive line. They had 2 trades for offensive linemen this year, and now they sign a free agent offensive lineman to be the center. So the Bears are actually doing some good moves. I know sometimes it's hard to conceivably think about the Bears being a good team. These are good moves. You need to make moves on the offensive line in order to be a competent team in the NFL. If you don't, the first thing I do right now when I see a team make a move, literally the first thing I do is how good are their trenches? Like literally yesterday, I saw the Rams make a trade for Devontae Adams. I'm like, ooh, good move. I like that. How good's their O-line? Their O-line's okay. I think it was like 12 or 13th ranked last year. So if you don't have an O-line, you're not going to compete in the NFL. You're not going to compete in the NFL. So get the offensive line done. The Bears, they did it backwards. They got all these skill position guys. I mean, they had so many skill position guys last year. I was like, I can't even find them all on the team. And they couldn't block for shit. Caleb Williams was running like a man with his hair on fire. So those are good moves. The Bears finally did some good things. You know, it's funny. I told John a couple of months ago on Bears 365, I kind of like Ryan Poles, even though he did this backwards. I thought he had a better sense of player talent than anybody previously in Chicago. He's made some bad moves, but I liked what Ryan Poles was doing. Now with an offensive line, we'll see if some of those other moves he made come to fruition and work out like they were hoping or not. We'll see. I like you. Yeah, that Izaraku kid is really growing on me. I like him a lot, Daz. And by the way, Landon Jackson, I think he's going to slip. Daz, I think he's going to slip into that second round. So maybe he's an option for the Eagles to trade up and grab in the second round if they're not able to get the edge they want in round one. We will see what happens there. Let me double check again on my Twitter. I want to get some of the breaking news that's coming in for you guys on the fly. They're talking about Milton Williams on the NFL Network right now. Yeah, the Braxton Berrios deal got done. The Falcons got not the Falcons, former Falcons center, head to the Bears. I saw that. We talked about that. Jalen Moore, we talked about that. We talked about Chris Godwin. Big deal for Chris Godwin. I like that deal for Godwin. I really do. I think it's a good deal coming off the injury. I think he's the right fit in Tampa Bay. They have a solid offensive line already in Tampa. Their defense is solid. They added Hassan Reddick as well. So not bad. Not bad at all. And then the Bucs agreed to the 3-year deal with Ben Bredesen or whatever his name is. So however you pronounce that. But so the Bucs are making some moves. Bucs and Rams, I think, are going to be two teams in the NFC that can compete next year. I still can't believe that damn deal for Khalil Mack, 35 years old, 6.5 sacks last year, and you give him $18 million fully guaranteed. What am I missing with that? What am I missing with that? John, what's up, John? Love this name, John Castiglione. Love it, brother. Great, nice Italian name right there. I really want to bolster the defensive line in the first 2 rounds of the draft. Have to keep that line as inexpensive as possible. John, you're 100% right. 100%. You know, John, think about this. We just saw a 35-year-old edge who had 6.5 sacks get $18 million fully guaranteed. We just saw J.C. Horn, who is good, not great, not elite. I don't know. I like J.C. Horn. I don't have a problem with him. I think he's a good ball player. He just got a $100 million deal with $70 million guaranteed. What's that mean for Quinion and Cooper coming up in the future? What's that edge market mean for Nolan Smith coming up in the future? What does Chris Jones making $31 million and Myles Garrett getting $40 million, what does that mean for Jalen Carter coming up? Like, we have so many guys to pay soon on the defense. This is where John is right. You got to get some more rookie contracts in on that defense, or else the thing's going to fall. Something's got to give in the future when you sign these guys. Something's got to give in the future. So definitely got to keep that in mind. And, you know, that's the one thing where I do agree, where I do think drafting defensive linemen early is the best bang for your buck this year. All right, it's the best bang for your buck. Curtis checks in. Man, this Twitter is really struggling. Vikings and 49ers are in the mix for Jonathan Allen, I'm seeing. So that's pretty interesting. We'll see what ends up happening there. Kinlaw to the Commanders. Did that happen? Bengals DT BJ Hill agreed to terms with Cincy. 3 years, $33 million. Yeah, that doesn't move me much. Solid player, but I'm not really worried. I don't know. The Bengals got so much shit to do. Joe Burrow should have left that organization. That organization is terrible. They don't have the money. You can't blame the GMs. Howie Roseman has 50 people under him on his team. The guy in Cincinnati has 3. I'd rather go Izaraku at 32. There's a couple other guys I like at 32 over Jack Sawyer. I'm not going to lie to you. I like Jack, but I don't know. There's something about him that's not. I like him. I wouldn't go head over heels for him, if that makes sense. So another move comes in with that BJ Hill for the Bengals. We'll see what happens there. Twitter is still struggling, but it's like slowly coming back to life, which is funny. All right. Yeah, Carmine, I think there's better options. I think there's some good options, honestly, at edge. I really do. I think there's, could James Pierce fall? Is that a guy you could trade up for? I know he's undersized. I like him. Shamar Stewart, obviously, he's going to go higher, but, I don't think he is as high as he's going to be taken. So maybe that pushes some other names down the board a little bit. There are some names I think that stick out. Landon Jackson, we talk about him a lot. I like him a lot. The Izaraku's pretty good. We'll see what ends up happening, but the draft's going to be interesting. The draft is going to be really interesting to see what they do there. I like Walter Nolan, too. I think Walter Nolan would be a perfect replacement for Milton Williams. I really do. I think he'd be a perfect. Yeah, Nick Scorton, he's good, too. Yeah, Walter Nolan, love him. G-Fish, big fan of his. Big fan of him. Yeah, we do well with him, but, Carmine, here's the thing. Here's what I was thinking about, though. Carmine, we do really well when there's kind of an offset. Like, this year we had Nolan Smith, but I wouldn't call Josh Sweat undersized. He's not huge, but he's not undersized. And then you have Brandon Graham, who's kind of that stout guy, Now, he didn't play all year, but that balance still existed. If you go in next year, Carmine, with Nolan and Pierce, that's a couple small edge rushers. That's where I think you're going to start to give up a lot in the running game. So I think having a little bit of a balance would be better, but I hear you. John says, I love Sawyer's teammate, JT, the other defensive end from Ohio State, possibly in the second round. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Steven says, I'm high on it. Zay, you need to be able to put in a run stuff in front, even if they aren't your stars. I agree, but you have Jordan Davis for that. Yeah, I like the Hassan Reddick move. I will say that. Saquon is speaking right now. I don't know if that means anything. I don't know. Carmen, I brought this up with John. He had a holy aneurysm about me writing off Bryce Huff too early because of his injury. I don't know. I thought, Carmine, why the hell do we even want this guy on the team? But I think they're going to, Carmine, if you think about it, because they're losing probably BG and Sweat, they literally might need the body, dude. Like, there's no relief from trading him or moving on from him. You're not getting any contract relief till next year. So moving on from him almost doesn't make sense. To bring him back, I guess, makes the most sense. And I don't know what type of role they're going to rely on him for. Does Jalen Hunt become the starter? Do they draft a guy? Do they sign a guy? Do they trade for somebody? Who knows? But I think it's too early to get rid of him because Carmine, you don't get anything, You don't get anything. Yeah, and you need 5 Ds at least. So who is that? Right now you got Nolan, you got Jalix, and you got Huff. Let's say we draft a guy in round 1, that's 4. Still going to need a guy. Still probably going to need a guy. So I don't know. I don't see that with Huff being gone, but I hear you. I understand why people want him to be gone. Yeah, Saquon is talking, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but I could care less what Saquon has to say right now. I'm sorry. I just don't care. I mean, Saquon, I love you. Thank you for the great season. Congratulations on your new historic contract. Well earned, well deserved. I don't give a shit what you have to say today, unfortunately. All right. Let's go to the NFL tab. I got my Twitter back hustling. Twitter's back working a little bit now. We'll see. I can't get over that JC Horn deal, man. Yeah, Seahawks or Steelers. I think that makes sense. I think Seahawks. I think it's going to be Seahawks. Yeah, Sella says they're trying to distract us. Yes, they are. Elijah Mitchell signing with the Chiefs, former 49er running back. That doesn't really do much for me. Boy, the Chiefs love them cheap running backs, don't they? They love those Chiefs running backs. Commanders signed Javon Kinlaw, 3-year, $45 million. Boy, that doesn't move me much. I see it. Javon Kinlaw reached agreement with Washington, a 3-year, $45 million deal that includes $30 million guaranteed. Ugh, that doesn't do much for me. I'm not going to lie to you. It really doesn't. It really doesn't do really much of anything at all for me, to be blunt. There you go. There's the Javon Kinlaw deal. Let me see if I can zoom in over here. Twitter's like barely working, so yeah, you can see it just keeps saying retry. But there's that deal. That came in. Elijah Mitchell, 1-year deal worth up to 3.5. That does nothing for me to the Chiefs. Not that good of a player. I mean, cheap running back. Chiefs love their cheap running backs. That's what they do. So we'll see what ends up happening there. That's it for the deals right now. We got the BJ Hill deal, 3-year, $33 million. Good player, not really a world beater. Braxton Berrios deal got done, 1-year, $2 million deal with the Texans. Again, doesn't mean much to me. Doesn't mean much to me, but this is the big one. I mean, this is in the NFC East, so this has implications on us as in the division. But I don't really think Javon Kinlaw had that good of a year. I mean, let's go check him out. Let's go check out the stats for Javon Kinlaw. All right, 2024, 17 games started, 4.5 sacks, 5 tackle for losses, 27 tackles, 13 solos, 5 QB hits. So not brutal. Not brutal. He played 17 games last year. 21 and 22. He only played 4 games and then 6 games respectively. And then he played 6 games started last year. So it took him a little bit to get back into the mix. And then this year he started 17 games. So I don't know. Somebody who watches the Jets more than me would have to tell me how good of a player he is. Would have to tell me how good of a player he is. But it doesn't move me much. Doesn't move me much. I think here's what I will say. They got a little cheaper. Not really, though. I mean, Jonathan Allen wasn't making that much. Contracts for a middling player. It's crazy, lexicon. But that's what happens in the NFL, man. This is why people always say, though, if you play in free agency so much, you're probably not going to be a great organization. You're probably not going to be a great organization. 31 teams trying to catch us. Forget about it. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, we'll see. David, look, here's the one thing I love about the NFL. Last year was last year. We can be fans and we can, hey, we're on the mountaintop. You're right about that. We are the defending champions. You're right about that. But defending it takes more than just sitting still and letting other teams, come up to your point. You got to get better. You got to improve. You got to do things to rebuild your roster. And, I think the Eagles have done good things, but I think they're going to have to add some pieces, man. I do. I think they're going to have to do some things to get a little bit better because I'm sure teams all around them are going to be trying to get better. And we'll see what happens there. We will see what happens there. Let me see if I can get live on Twitter again. I don't know if they're going to work or not, but new year, new story, no doubt. No doubt, brother. That's how it works. That's how it works. Bob Brown checking in. What's up, Bob? Zander, this draft is strong at DT, edge, and tight end. Not a big difference between 15 and 60. If you can't trade back, I might consider Campbell at 32. I know this would be un-Howie like Bond and Campbell. Yeah, and I think Bond's going to be more of, or Campbell's going to be more of an edge. I love Campbell. Bob, you don't have to tell me twice on drafting Campbell. See, Bob, when I talk about Campbell, most of it comes from that I don't think it's a realistic possibility, so I kind of write it off. I personally would do it. I personally would be happy with that type of a deal and that type of a player at that spot. I just don't – I don't know if Howie would do it, especially after paying a linebacker what he just did. Same thing with Oren Burks. Like, someone was like, oh, bring Oren Burks back. I'm like, dude, they just paid a linebacker crazy money. Like, I don't think they're going to pay a backup linebacker. I really don't. I don't think they're going to pay a backup linebacker. No, Chiha, he's not going top 15. Patriots are signing linebacker Robert Spillane, former Raider. $30 million for Javon Kinlaw is pretty crazy. I don't like it. Yeah, the Bear. See, I will say, right now, my favorite team in free agency and in the offseason has been the Bears because they had a lot of great skill position guys, and now they're attacking the offensive line. We'll see if it all pans out. Doesn't mean everybody that they got on the offensive line is going to be that good. But the fact that they're dumping all their resources into that tells you that they have the right team-building philosophy. They have a quarterback they believe in. They have skill position guys that quarterback can throw the ball to. Now you have to protect that quarterback. If you can't protect him, you can't play. Ben Johnson knows that. He had arguably one of the best offensive lines in the league in Detroit last year, protecting Jared Goff. Now he's got a quarterback that can move a little bit better. If you can't protect him, you're fucked. All right? I think Ben Johnson knows that. So Ryan Poles doing a good job, really attacking that offensive line for the Chicago Bears. What do you guys think Milton Williams is going to get? I think Milton Williams might get 4 years, $90 million, maybe even more than that. I could see him getting 4 years, $95 million, maybe 3 years, 75, somewhere in that range. 3 years, 70 to 75, 22 million. I like that, JT. It's pretty good. 400 billion. Daz, with the way they're paying people, man, you might not be off. You might not be far off, Daz. You might not be far off here. We'll see what they end up doing here. $100 million. We'll see, man. I don't know. Flex. Not happening, Flex. I'm telling you right now, Flex. My insider sources, who I don't like to use often, all right, have told me that it is very, very, very unlikely for Milton Williams to return here. It's unlikely that they even offer him. It's unlikely they even offer him. Now, I think Josh Sweat is more of the you never know. I think Josh Sweat, because if you're looking around and you see edge rushers, getting paid what they're getting paid, if you don't feel good about where you are at 32, you have to recoup there. So are you going to trade and pay? Are you going to pay for someone in free agency? Are you going to draft someone? Like, what's your replacement at the edge? I think Sweat would be more likely than Milton. I'm not going to lie to you. Seems like going to a car dealership. That's hilarious. Speaking of going to a car dealership, I think I'm getting a new truck. Everybody. Not that you care on this free agency day, but I like to give you, you guys are my family. I like to tell you some of that shit. I think I'm going new truck. I got to trade mine in. I got a boatload of equity in my truck. Swap that sucker out and grab a new one. I'm getting up there in miles on my truck. Perfectly maintained. Perfect. I keep my truck perfect. Now, yeah. Chip, if I had cash like that, I wouldn't even hesitate, brother. I wouldn't even hesitate. I wouldn't even think twice. Right now, I have a Ram. I don't have a TRX. I got a Laramie. Sport. Great truck, man. Amazing truck, my Laramie. I really love my truck, dude. The Rams are tough, but Stellantis is going down, man. I don't like what Stellantis is doing. But, yeah, if I had cash like that, Jags signing Jordan Lewis, the new highest paid nickel corner or cornerback. I don't know how good he was. Papadell, I do not have $100,000 to spend on a truck. Stop it. That is insane. One day I will, though. One day I will. Yeah, Daz, you and me both. All I'm trying to do is get the deals as they come in for the people. I don't want a damn Cybertruck. Plug my fucking. What's the point of a Cybertruck? Yeah, it's a truck. I don't want to have to plug it in. I want to put some gas in it and go. Jordan Lewis, he was on the Cowboys, right? Yeah. No, where was he last year? Where was he last year? Oh, Papadou, stop that. Stop that. Don't be envious, jealous like that. I don't think that's it. That's not a good look, bro. William, I can tell you don't like Elon Musk. You've been sounding off on Elon Musk today, all right? Big Z got Howie in his box. I'm working deals out here, folks. I'm working deals out here. Yeah, what is going on with this? Keegan says the Cowboys are dodging Micah Parsons. He is probably going to request a trade. I don't know what's going on. Wait a second. Eagle fans, I got a question for you. Eagle fans. Hey, Eagle fans. I have a question for you. Eagle fans. JV3 says no. Hey, Eagle fans, would you trade for Micah Parsons? Would you do it? Would you trade for Micah Parsons? and make him the highest paid edge rusher in the NFL. Well, Curtis says trade what? You're going to have to trade a lot, brother. You are going to have to trade a lot to get him. I don't know. See, here's the thing, I'm an Eagle fan, and I love all you Eagle fans. But I do think that some of us live in a little bit of delusion land, all right? Right now, our only edge rushers on the roster are Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, and Jalix Hunt. You're telling me you wouldn't want to add Micah Parsons to that room? I don't know about that. That's all I'm saying. All right? I would have to entertain that call. Micah Parsons can flat out play. Flexen says F no. David says no. Matt B, no effing way. Oh, my God. All you people. Nope. Jerry, yeah, you're right. Michael Mulvey's right. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't trade. I don't know Michael Mulvey. Jerry Jones I don't think he cares anymore. I really don't. Hell no. Don't want nobody want Chatty Patty. Anthony Wilson, if he got you 15 sacks a year, you might be all right with it. All right? Look, I know you guys don't like thinking about a Cowboy wearing Eagle green. I know. I get it. This team needs an edge rusher, and if they're trading him, Howie's calling. Doesn't mean he's going to do the deal, but he's calling. Yeah, Howie would fleece him. What's the Kingdom of God says? You definitely entertain the call. Believe me. King, there's no doubt he entertains the call. Whether Flexen and Steppen wants to believe it or not, he is taking the call. Howie will take that call. We'd probably have to give up a lot, Matt B. We'd probably have to give up a lot. Yes, Bird Gang says, yes, a first, second, and Jordan Davis gets it done. Oh! Holy shit! Micah Parsons, are you ready? I know you guys hate it. Rams re-signed Jimmy Garoppolo to a one-year contract. I actually like that. Good fit, good backup. Good insurance for Stafford, and if he goes down, he is older. I think your season doesn't fall off a cliff. Not bad. I'm not the biggest Jimmy G guy, but I don't think he's a trash can. I think he deserves a roster spot somewhere, at least as a backup. So I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't think it'd be that cheap either. Leak the call to poison the Dallas waters. Not a bad idea. If he stops his podcast. Cap was better, but, politics get in the way of a lot of shit. Cap was a great quarterback. People, obviously Kaepernick has a controversial career now. When he was at his peak, he was good. I remember when he lit the league on fire and went to the Super Bowl. He was damn good that year in San Francisco. He really was. But obviously, politics get in the way. Yeah, typically when you sue the bosses, not going to keep a job. Kanzu checks in. Zander, I can't stand the Cowboys, but how are so many blinded against talent? I don't know, man. Well, listen, Kanzu, here's the thing. I'm not blinded against his talent. Like, I think he's talented as hell, but he does come with some baggage, man. Like, look, let's be real about this. I think Micah Parsons is a really good player. I think he's a very fine ball player. He's not perfect. He kind of stinks against the run. He's a little bit of a headache off the field. He does a lot of the podcast bullshit. He's involved in drama left and right. He doesn't really seem like a loyal dude to me. And I don't really know how much he would fit the locker room. But he can rush a fucking passer. So, you weigh all that, you wonder, and then you make the decision that's ultimately best for the team. But I don't know. I know he can rush the passer better than anybody we have on our team right now. So would they consider it? They probably would. Carmine says he's an asshole. That's pretty funny. No, he's good, man. He's good. You can't have him and AJ Owens. You're actually right about that, Carmine. You don't want too many people in the locker room that are stirring the pot. Just a couple of people is all right. You know, it keeps you striving for more, striving to get better. Any other deals coming down? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. What about Aaron Rodgers? Who do you think's getting Aaron Rodgers? Do you think it'll be the Giants? Boy, that they need to fire that dude, that GM in New York, man. They got to fire that GM in New York. That guy's doing a bad job. They're doing a bad job. He's really doing a bad job. And now you're going to go down the road of, you know, potentially getting a 40-year-old. I don't know. I liked Aaron Rodgers in his heyday, but I'm kind of out on him now. Keegan the boss says Steelers getting Aaron Rodgers. We'll see. The mental ward needs Rodgers. That's pretty funny. Steelers. Yeah, I think it's going to be Vikings. I could see Vikings. I think Vikings are a possibility. Boy, how funny. Wait, how funny would that be if he goes from a career in Green Bay and then he goes and plays for the Vikings? Oh, man, that would be wild. That would be wild. I don't know, though. I think the Vikings are going to play that young kid they got, J.J. McCarthy. I'm not the biggest J.J. McCarthy fan, but we'll see. I mean, he hasn't played in the NFL yet. I didn't love him coming out of college, though. Fire him. He's doing great work for us. Who did I say to fire? Who did I say to fire? Did I say to fire someone? You might be talking to someone in the chat. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say to fire anybody. And a stint at the Jets. He's literally Favre. That's funny, Dirty Air. It really is. It really is funny. Brett Favre, exact path. That would be so funny, man. The NFC North. Oh, Joe Schoen. Wait a second. Mike, are you a plant? Mike must be a plant. Did you say he's doing great work for the Giants? You guys fucking stink. You stink. You haven't gotten better since he's been hired. What are you talking about? He's doing a good job for us. That's who you were talking about? Joe Schoen? His 7-year-old son knew what to do more than he knew what to do. He's made every bad move. Oh, all right. I see what you're saying. He's saying for us as Eagle fans. All right. I got you. If you're a New York Giant team fan, though, good Lord, that guy is fucking terrible. That guy is terrible. Holy crap. Shown as a plant by Howie to funnel players to Philly. That's hilarious. Might not even be that far-fetched. Dad, draft Jaden Daniels. Like, literally, the kid knew what was going on. The Jaguars are signing Jordan Lewis, per the insiders. NFL's highest-paid nickel cornerback. Yeah, you guys said that on the show a little bit ago. My Twitter's going in and out, so it's not really working, but Dad, draft Jaden Daniels. That is so funny. The Cilio crash out before the explanation. Well, the guy didn't make himself clear, M. Rice. If you're going to tell me that you think Joe Schoen's doing a good job, you better have some backup. Now I know what he was saying, though. I got it. Zay, I missed your super. Let me get to it. X is down bad. Yes, they are. Got that one. Hall in the goods. What's up, Holland? I wouldn't mind getting Greenlaw. I believe that the pick 32 might get traded to get more draft comp. Yeah, I think they're going to move back. Add a mid-round pick, and then take an edge rusher, a tight end, probably an offensive lineman, maybe 2 defensive linemen. Maybe 2 defensive linemen in the first 3 picks. Might be 2 defensive linemen in the first 3 picks. But this is a trench draft for sure. We're not drafting any skill position players, or I don't think any secondary players, at least early in the draft. I would recommend ESPN's tracker. Let's do that. It's a good idea. Yeah, got it. Patriots linebacker Spillane, 3-year, $37 million. Holy moly, man. Holy shit. He started all 17 games last year with the Raiders, but that's big money for him, man. That's big money for him. Garoppolo back to the Rams, 3-year deal for Kinlaw to the Commanders, Just recapping some of the moves now for you guys. Bengals, B.J. Hill, 3 years, $33 million. Cardinals re-signed Evan Brown to a 2-year deal, starting left guard. Not bad. Wide receiver Braxton Berrios, $2 million 1-year deal with the Texans. I don't like that move at all. I mean, the Texans have so many receivers. What do you need him for? The Bears, O-line rebuild, Drew Dalman. 2-year deal, 3-year deal, $42 million, includes $28 million guaranteed. We'll see about that. Chiefs signed O-line Jalen Moore to a 2-year, $30 million deal. That's Reddick to the Bucs. All right, the last update I saw on on Mekhi Becton is Becton appears to set free agency. There has not been significant movement towards a new deal between the Eagles and offensive lineman Mekhi Becton. From what I gather, he was a key advocate in O-line coach Jeff Stoutland and would like to return, but the money has to be right on both sides. Becton will have a chance to test the market. That was Tim McManus about an hour ago, so we'll see on that. We will see on that. That Jordan Lewis is solid, but now setting the market for a nickel corner. Let's get the Zach super chat. Zach, what's up, brother? Hey, Z Smith had 9 sacks, 2 teams. Yeah, he was good in his heyday. I don't know if he's good in it right now, but maybe as a body, maybe as a rotational piece, Zach. But the price got to be right, man. The price has to be right. The price has to be right. Chiefs spending up front, yeah, but I don't like all their moves. James Jones, Zander, what do you say? Put some bass in your voice when you say my team. James Jones, 55-23, bitch. Choke on that, James. Choke on that, James. 55. Who you signing on defense that's going to stop that? 55. How's that for bass, James? 55. 55-23. James, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Better take the day off, kid. Better take the day off. 55-23, and this guy's talking with his chest out. He's got his chest hair showing. New York Giants get a deal done. Here we go. Paulson Adebo, cornerback. The former New Orleans Saints is 25 years old, coming off a broken femur. I don't know what the deal looks like yet, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what that deal shapes up to be. The good old Giants. Yeah, classic. 50 burger with fries, baby. 50 burger with fries. Go ahead, James. Keep barking into the abyss, James. When's the last time your team won a playoff game? 2001? James hasn't been relevant, sir. It's World War II. Maybe I should take it easy on him. The guy's looking for a glimmer of hope. He's looking for a glimmer of life. A glimmer. Can I get a glimmer of hope? No, you can't. Your team stinks. And Jaden Daniels is going to regress in his sophomore year. Watch. Jaden Daniels had a really cute rookie season. I guarantee he regresses. Watch. You watch. Everybody will say, he's wrong. Watch. Jaden Daniels will not be as good next year as he was this year. Panthers got Milton? Tell me that happened. Milton working on a deal with the Panthers. Come on, Milton. You're going to die on the vine in Carolina? Oh, my God. You're going to go and die. I hate to see it. I loved Milton Williams. I loved him as a player. I loved the family. I loved the story. I loved where he came from. And he goes to Carolina. I told you, Flex, he wasn't coming to Philly. You didn't want to believe me. Yeah, I can't knock him for getting the bag, but I thought he would get the bag at a better place than Carolina. Why move to Loserville? I'm with you. Washington fans don't have any chest there. That's hilarious. I'd play in Carolina for $100 million. Yeah, but Josh, I thought a good team would give him $100 million. I'm not going to lie. I thought a good team would value him because he's a defensive line guy. I mean, good teams value, D lineman. I thought he would get it from a good team. But, here's the thing. Carolina does stink, but maybe they improve. I thought Bryce Young showed a glimmer of hope last year. But I don't see it with them. Yeah, Milton is out on the vine, unfortunately. Yo, Flex, I tried to tell you. Yo, Flex. Yo, Flex. Yo, Flex. I don't like the Paulson and Debo move at all for the Giants. I don't like that move at all for the Giants. But at least they have, at least they're doing something, I guess. What's this Milton Williams deal, guys? I'm trying to find this Milton deal. You guys gave me some an inkling of hope, but here it is. Carolina Panthers are working to finalize a deal with former Eagles defensive tackle Milton Williams per source. No money yet. Look at Flex and Cry. I told you we wasn't getting Miles. Flex, and I'm the only one on the shows outside of Cilio and John that said I didn't really want Miles. Who the fuck are you? Yo, Flex! Get out of your emotions, Flex. You're a little emotional this week, Flex. Milton Williams, gone. To the Panthers. Oh, man. To the freaking Panthers. Zeke crashing out. I love crashing out. Crashing out is highly entertaining for all you guys. Yeah, here's the difference between you and me, Flex. Here's the difference between you and me. You ready? You ready for this, Flex? Here's the difference between me being emotional and you being emotional. I'm getting paid to be emotional. Are you? Come on, Flex. I'm getting paid to be emotional. Offensive tackle Dan Moore Jr. Oh, that's a big deal. 4-year, $82 million with the Titans. Deal includes $50 million guaranteed. Now, I don't know a lot about Dan Moore, but let me go pull his grade. Dan Moore, that's a big bag. That is a big bag of money. What is going on? No, that's not true. 46 graded tackle. I mean, this is not that good of a player. The dude that just signed in Kansas City was graded out higher than this dude for a way better deal. Come on. That's a bad deal. The tackle market's getting crazy. Come on, let me get this Milton Williams deal. What's this Milton Williams deal? Did the deal finalize for Milton yet or not? Matt Jean says, Commando's got all that money to do what? Hang tight, because remember, not everybody that makes a lot of moves on free agency is the teams that win. All right? So the Commandos might be making some better moves, honestly. Sound organizations don't really go crazy in free agency. No way. Don't tell me Ziggy's right. No way. There's no way Ziggy is right. $140 million, that can't be. There's no way. Dude, 100. I got the NFL Network on. They're not talking about it yet. Can someone confirm to me whether Milton Williams got $140 million? That would be insane. I don't see any reports yet. I don't either. I don't either. $95 million guaranteed? Dude, no way. Yeah, Twitter's still down. Yo, Jalen Carter is going to make so much money. It's insane. 27 per. Oh my God. Is this what Milton Williams is getting? 27 per? Dude, that is insane. That is such an overpay. I love Milton Williams. Dude, he played. What? He played next to Jalen Carter in front of Zach Bond on the other side. Oh my gosh. 35 is low. Lexicon. Milton Williams just got 27. Dude, Jalen, bump it up. Bump it up. Congrats to Milton Williams is right. I agree with that, Flex. Congrats to him. Look, love the player, but boy, am I happy we didn't re-sign him because that is insane. That is egregious. That's too much money for him. He's not that big. He's not an impact player. He's not a guy you put on the field and he wrecks games. He doesn't. He does not wreck games. He doesn't wreck games. He's been here for 4 years. He's never wrecked a game. He's been a great piece next to players like Jalen Carter. Is that what it is? 4 at 105? That would make a lot more sense. Carter's going to get an insane money. Carter is going to get so much money. I'm waiting on this Milton Williams deal. Ooh, Patriots got Carlton Davis. 3 years, $60 million. 3 years, $60 million for Carlton Davis. 3 years, $60 million for Carlton Davis. That's actually a good sign. Patriots are making some moves. Jalen Carter's going to get so much money. 4 at 105 for Milton. Let me see, DL. I want to confirm it. With all due respect, I trust you, but I don't really trust you. That Dan Moore contract is wild. Carter's going to be 40 per easily. 34.5 guaranteed for Carlton Davis. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Maybe a slight overpay, but pretty good. Dude, don't tell me this. Is this what Milton's getting? I'm waiting for the NFL Network to put it on the screen. They're not doing it. Like, what are they waiting for? Yeah, Jalen Carter got Milton paid. Milton should call Jalen Carter and say, hey, let's go grab a steak dinner on me. On me. Thank you. No, I don't think so. Holy crap. That is so much money for Milton Williams. Panthers saw the Super Bowl and said, yeah, $100 million. They're going to do it, man. They don't. Is Twitter back up? Because it's not up for me yet. None of my platforms. Yeah, the max Crosby between them, dude, the deals for the defensive lines are just insane. The deals for the offensive line. Yo, Dio, we see it, dude. Good night. Swaggy Skip, I didn't know, bro. I just removed some mods. I didn't mean to do it to you. Believe me, it wasn't personal. Believe me, I apologize. I hope you're doing well, man. You were in the hospital. I didn't realize. Hope you're doing well. All right, man? Twitter's still not working for me, so I'm not getting any news from Twitter. Milton Williams, man, that's a crazy. I can't wait to see what this deal comes out to be. I still don't see it yet. Carlton Davis, 3 years, $60 million. Crazy deal. The Paulson and Debo deal to the Giants doesn't really move me much. Still working on the deal for Milton Williams. I will see what he gets. God, that Dan Moore contract is crazy. $82 million, $50 million guaranteed. Dio, not every comment has to be posted 4 times. Please. Good night. You guys drive me crazy with that. I can't read the chat when there's one guy commenting the same thing 66 times. I'm trying to get comments from the people. They're talking to Max Crosby in the NFL Network. Hey, NFL Network, I don't think this is the right time to interview Max Crosby. But I digress. Patriots 3-year deal for Carlton Davis. I actually like that deal. $34.5 million fully guaranteed. I get it. He's older, but he's a good player. Patriots are making some moves over there, so we'll see what they do. Who's their they got Mike Vrabel. That's right. Yeah. Steven says Zander can overpay for a new truck like some of these teams overpaying for free agents. You're right, Steven. You're right. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. I'm going to walk in. Now, here's Steven. Ready? Here's a little. I get hooked up on car deals because my mom works at a car dealership. All right. And she has for 22 years. So car buying for me is a lot easier than most. All right. All right. But no, you're right. I probably will be. Anything I buy right now is an overpay. Let's be real. It's an overpay. I'm waiting for this Milton Williams thing to hit. I'm waiting for this Milton Williams deal to hit. Free agency tracker. Let's go to NFL. All right, so this is what we got. I mean, NFC East. Let's recap real quick before this Milton Williams deal comes in. Ready? This is where we are in the NFC East, all right? The Eagles made some moves. Not many. Saquon Barkley, 2-year extension. Linebacker Zach Bond, 3-year, $51 million deal with $34 million guaranteed. All right? Commanders, I think second team in the NFC East. They traded for wide receiver Deebo Samuel. All right? 5th-round draft pick. Trade won't be official till league year starts March 12th. Then you had tight end John Bates, 3-year, $21 million deal that includes $11.5 million guaranteed with a max value of $25.5 million. Then you have tight end Zach Ertz, 1-year, $6.25 million deal worth up to $9 million with incentives. Defensive lineman Javon Kinlaw, 3-year, $45 million deal with $30 million guaranteed. Linebacker Bobby Wagner re-signed a 1-year deal up to $9.5 million with $8 million guaranteed. And then kicker Zane Gonzalez re-signed a free agent deal. And punter Tress Way. So that's the moves that the Commanders have made. The New York Giants re-signed Tommy DeVito, re-signed tight end Chris Mannertz, signed a free agent deal to Paulson and Debo. We just talked about that. They signed their punter Jamie Gillen and long snapper Casey Kreiter. And then Dallas, Osa Ogbegizua, or whatever his name is, 4 years, $80 million. Cornerback CJ Goodwin re-signed a 1-year deal, and safety Marquise Bell, 3-year deal worth up to $12 million. So that's all that the NFC East has done. You're not looking, no crazy deal. No crazy deal yet. No crazy deal yet in the NFC East. Nobody's breaking the bank for anything yet. I think the Commanders have made some good moves. I do like bringing back Bobby Wagner. I do like bringing back Ertz and Bates. So I like what they did there. And the Debo trade, I don't love Debo, but you gave up a 5th. I mean, you didn't really give up much. So overall, not a bad move for them. Not a bad move for them. I want this Milton Williams deal to come in. Still hasn't come in. We'll see what happens here. By the way, we're 45 minutes away from the National Football Show starting. All right, we'll see what happens on that show. Is that right, Flex? Aaron Rodgers getting close to signing a deal with the Steelers? Yep. Milton Williams is going to the Panthers. I thought the Steelers still had Russ too, but I think they're trading him. I think his contract was up though, A-team. I think his contract was Milton's going to Carolina. Yeah, John, I'm with you. John says, I'm an Elon guy, but come on, couldn't Twitter be down during the start of boring baseball free agency? You're right. You're right. You are right. Twitter is back. We'll see. Look at Flex and thanking Milt. Jeez, Flex. I mean, he was a good player here. He wasn't like a... Flexen, you love Milton Williams. Flexen, you're going to end up with a mannequin of Milton Williams in your house. Flex, I got to stop picking on you today. You're going to be on my ass all week. Let's see what he gets. They've been working that they're finalizing a deal for like 30 minutes. All right. I'm with you. I'm with you, Crawley. I think he was way better with Jalen Carter, Zach Bond behind him, Nolan Smith off the edge. I mean, come on. Come on here. It's the computer that's not working. My phone's working. My phone's working well. It's the computer that's not really working. Man, I love free agency. I love free agency. A lot of moves happening, everybody. A lot of moves happening. All right? A lot of moves happening. A lot of moves going on here in the NFL world. Nothing yet for the Birds. I didn't think they were going to be big players today, so nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I'm not sweating it, but I am waiting to see what this Milton Williams deal is because, he's obviously probably your biggest loss of the offseason. And if he gets $100 million, man, Johnny Mack called this way before everybody. He said right at the beginning, Milton Williams is going to be over $20 million. And I was like, damn, really? Over 20? And John was right. Yeah, Zach, I'm with you. Neil says Thomas Mott just confirmed Milton to Charlotte. Well, Neil, I love you, and I love Thomas Mott too, but he didn't confirm anything. The whole entire NFL world confirmed it. What are you talking about? That would be like me saying, I've confirmed Milton Williams. No, the NFL world did. Stop. We're information brokers. Let's see what Rappaport puts out. Anything on? I'm still, all I care about right now is the Milton Williams deal. I want to see what Milton Williams gets. Let's see what he gets. All right, here we go. Jonathan Allen is visiting the Vikings today. Jonathan Allen. Oh, I got you, Neil. I got you. Jonathan Allen visits the Vikings today. Let me see if I can share my show out to Twitter finally. They don't want to go out. There we go. Now we're live on Twitter. Here we go. Welcome in, everybody, to the Zander Krause Show, a special free agency edition. It's free agency frenzy. It's going back and forth. The deals are coming in left and right. And the Philadelphia Eagles looks like they are going to lose Milton Williams. Milton Williams is out. Looks like he's going to sign a deal in Carolina with the Panthers. We will see what those numbers are. Still haven't gotten any confirmation on what those numbers are, but it does look like he is going to be back or not going to be back. He will be in Carolina. Some of the numbers that have come out just speculated are wild. So we will see what Milton Williams ends up getting. Just to recap a little bit, of free agency so far today. I'll run through the moves for everybody, for those just checking in right now on the shows. All right, the Patriots, just a couple of minutes ago, agreed to a 3-year deal with cornerback Carlton Davis. Great deal. Deal averages $20 million a year. It's a 3-year, $60 million with $34.5 million guaranteed. We'll see what happens with that one. The Dan Moore left tackle, big deal, $82 million deal, 4 years. I think that's an overpay. I don't think he was that good, but look, there's a premium on offensive lineman. Deal includes $50 million guaranteed. Panthers, I mentioned to you, are working to finalize a deal for Milton Williams, so we'll see what that number is. As soon as I get those numbers, I will report them. And here you go. Here's a report real quick before I keep rolling through all the deals from free agency so far. Update. Here's from Michael Silver, okay, the Athletic columnist. He puts out update. Williams is close to signing with the Panthers. He has other options per Diana Rossini. So we'll see. Maybe it's not the Panthers. I would like to see him go to a team that's better than the Panthers, but we'll see. We will see. All right. Giants agreed to a deal with ex-Saints cornerback Paulson Adebo. It's not an awful move for the Giants. Not great, not awful. All right. Third round pick out of Stanford, started 51 games for the Saints at outside corner, including all 17 games as a rookie. So Giants locked up Paulson Adebo. The Jaguars signed the ex-Cowboys cornerback Jordan Lewis, the biggest deal for a slot cornerback, now paid like it as well. So big deal for him. Patriots linebacker Robert Spillane on a 3-year deal, 3 years, $37 million. And then you're looking at Rams brought back QB Jimmy Garoppolo. Commanders signed a 3-year deal with defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw. Not my favorite deal. Not my favorite deal. I don't really think that Javon Kinlaw is that good, but we will see. We will see what ends up happening. It does look like Milton Williams is going to be gone. Out of here. He'll be out of here. We'll see what happens there. The Bengals re-signed defensive tackle B.J. Hill to a 3-year, $33 million deal. All right, we'll see what happens there. Cardinals re-signed their guard, left guard Evan Brown to a 2-year deal. Braxton Berrios signed with the Texans. That's not moving me one way or the other. The Bears continued to add to the offensive line. They signed center Drew Dalman to a 3-year deal for $42 million with $28 million guaranteed. The Bucs making some moves. The Bucs signed wide receiver Chris Godwin to a 3-year deal. 2 seasons are fully guaranteed. So I think it was $22 million. So we got $44 million guaranteed. And they also signed former Eagle Hassan Reddick to Tampa. All right, a 1-year deal, $12 million guaranteed. It's up to $14 million the deal. So good deal for 2 good deals for Tampa Bay. They got Reddick and Godwin back. Chiefs signed an offensive lineman, Jalen Moore, to a 2-year deal, $30 million. That's big money for him. Not huge on him, but we'll see. Becton is set to test the market. We'll see about that. Guard Ben Bredesen signed a 3-year deal to remain in Tampa Bay. So Bucs making some moves today. I think doing some good moves. I really do. I think the Bucs made some good moves today. So we'll see about that. And then how about that Khalil Mack, 35 years old, 6.5 sacks last year, and he gets $18 million fully guaranteed. Josh Sweat is about to get huge money, man. J.C. Horn got a 4-year, $100 million deal with $70 million guaranteed. Quinyon Mitchell is clapping today. Cooper DeJean is pumping his fist today. Holy mackerel. That's a big deal for J.C. Horn. Good player, but $100 million? $100 million? Whew. Whew. Grady Jarrett got released, could be a target for the Eagles in free agency. We'll see about that. And Evan Engram is set to meet with the Broncos. We'll see how that meeting goes. I actually like that fit for Evan Engram. I like that fit for, I saw this, Saverick. I just posted this up. I just saw this. Not agreed yet. There might be a little bit of a bidding war going on with Milton. Swaggy, I'll re-up you, brother. I didn't mean to take you off. I just revamped some of the wrenches, which I'm going to be doing still, by the way. Haven't done it yet. Oh, man, that's big money. Milton Williams, boy, that's some big money for Milton Williams. We'll see what he ends up getting. I'm waiting to see what the news will be on that contract, on that deal. But, Boy, if it looks anything like some people are speculating where it's 25 million plus, holy crap. Jason A-Team checks in with a super chat. What's up, A-Team? Zander, what top corners are on the market still? Maybe even trade block, unless Eagles go the Ringo route. Howie likes a vet there, though. Also, you think Hendrickson is possible? Appreciate the show. Jason, love you, brother. Appreciate your support, man. Cornerbacks that are available, a lot have been taken off the board. I mean, Paulson Adebo got taken off the board. Carlton Davis was taken off the board. So we'll see. Cornerback Jordan Lewis got taken off the board. I don't know. Maybe Jair Alexander. I don't know. I think he might stay in. I think he might stay in Green Bay. We'll see about him, though. We'll see about him. Not many, man. Not many. Look, here's the thing, Jason. They're probably going with Keely Ringo there, and maybe they'll re-sign Isaiah Rodgers. Maybe. I don't think they're going to go down the road of paying huge money for a free agent, though. I really don't. And based on the free agent market, J.C. Horn just got $100 million. I mean, nobody signed Slay yet. So we'll see. I'm keeping everything posted. I'm refreshing like crazy. I'll let everybody know if any new deals come in. But also, Hendrickson, Jason A-Team. Jason A-Team, here's my dilemma. All right, with Hendrickson. I like it. I think he's a great player. But I just watched Khalil Mack at $18 million guaranteed, and he had 6.5 sacks, and he's 35 years old. Trey Hendrickson's way younger, and he led the NFL in sacks with, I think, 17.5. Like, he might get $35 million. He might get $35 million. I got Kinlaw to Washington. We talked about that already. How much of that money is guaranteed? Zeal, who are you talking about? I'll give you the guarantee if you tell me who you're talking about. J.C. Horn at $70 million. $100 million deal, $70 million is guaranteed for J.C. Horn. Josh Sweat's going to get $25 million. I don't know, man. He's a good player. He's not. I don't think he's that. I'm sorry. I don't think he's that. Yeah, Horn got $70 million, Zeal. $70 million for J.C. Horn. $70 million is still a lot. Still a lot. I think Slay could still happen. I wouldn't rule out Slay. J.K. Scott, a punter, returning to the Chargers. Chargers paid $18 million to a 35-year-old edge in Khalil Mack today, who had 6.5 sacks last year. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a good deal. $18 million fully guaranteed to a 35-year-old who had 6.5 sacks last year? Come on, man. Come on. Come on. I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. Let's see what else happens in free agency right now. Bunch of moves still coming in. We missed off. Well, we didn't miss, but the start of the tampering period was a little bit jaded because Twitter went down, so nobody knew where the hell to get the news from. I was using the NFL.com, ESPN.com, the free agency tracker, but a lot of those moves I just recapped for you guys. Yeah, Isaiah Rodgers. I'm seeing a tweet now. He's getting a bunch of interest, so we'll see if the Birds are able to get him back. I think if they don't want Slay back, I think they're going to want him back. I think they're going to want here we go. Patriots agreed to terms with veteran offensive tackle Morgan Moses on a 3-year, $24 million deal worth up to $28.5 million. No news on the guarantee yet, but that's a big deal for a 34-year-old. That's a big deal. Morgan Moses is 34 years old, and he just got a 3-year, $24 million deal worth up to $28.5 million. Oh, man. Protection for the young quarterbacks is going to be a theme today, but that's a big one. That's a big one. No, that's their projected, Bruce Wayne. No, it's not. Bruce Wayne, that's their projected, brother. Texans are signing DB Nolan Smith to a 2-year deal worth up to $7.5 million. Nothing crazy there. Nothing crazy there. Morgan Moses, that's a big deal for a 34-year-old. Holy mackerel, man. These old boys are getting paid. These old guys, it pays to keep your body healthy in today's league because you can make big money, 33, 34, 35 years old. Big money, man, for some of these big boys. Milton did not, Bruce, please, enough. Milton did not get $60 million. Nothing coming in yet on Milton Williams. We'll see. I thought he was going to come out today for sure. Yeah, Milton's making $60 million minimum. I think he's going to be $100 million. No new deals yet. Yeah. Here, all right. Here's the thing I would look at this from an Eagles perspective today. All right, a lot of great moves coming in, a lot of free agency news, a lot of breaking news, a lot of big contracts, crazy money being thrown around right now. Insane, I would say, at some of these positions. But here's the good news if you're the Eagles. And this is why I want to lock up Dallas Goedert, because we don't need another hole in the roster. If you tell me that Goddard's good and returning, I'm like, all right, let's figure out an edge rusher. Let's figure out some depth on the defensive line. Let's figure out another cornerback to give Keely Ringo some reps in practice, and we're good. I feel pretty good, right? You need defensive line depth. You need a cornerback, and you need probably to replace Mekhi Becton if he leaves. But if we create a hole at tight end, I think that's another big hole. I like Ojulari, Midnight Lexicon. I think that's a good name. Me and John talked about him very early in the process. He's young, might be expensive for what he's done so far. Like, that's a problem with that. You get into another Bryce Huff type deal where you pay someone too much money for what they haven't done yet. Yeah, Kayvon Chason, or however you say his name, Dylan Busby. I like that name. What's his name? Like Clavion Chason? I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's got that tough name, but I like him. I like Ojulari. I think he could be good. We'll see. The cap does keep going up, no doubt. D-line depth, linebacker depth, defensive back depth, and O-line depth. Yeah, but look, all the depth things I don't worry about. How he's going to get guys. Remember, Eagle Nest, you got guys like the futures deals. Like, we signed Zach Bond like a couple weeks after free agency started last year. We signed Mekhi Becton right after the draft. So, like, they're not done yet. Whenever you say depth, Eagle Nest, I'm not worried about it. Depth, the Eagles will get depth. I'm worried about starters. Like, who's going to be the starter on the offensive line? Who's going to be the starter at cornerback? And if you are going to move on from Dallas Goedert, who's going to be your starter at tight end? That would be my biggest concern for the Eagles. The depth is, like, you're worried about linebacker depth. I'm not, Eagle Nest. I'm not saying you're wrong. They do need to add to it, but I'm not worried about linebacker depth. We got Zach Bond under contract. Like, I feel pretty good about that. But with where the Eagles are, the to-do list isn't as big as some teams. It's just not. It's not as big as some teams. So, we'll see. No. Philly Don says, what do you think about ex-Dolphin cornerback Holland, Zander, 25-year-old to play opposite Q? One, I thought he was getting paid safety. Isn't Holland a safety? I thought Holland was a safety. Yeah, he's a safety. He's not going to play outside corner. Multiple teams are pursuing Javon Holland right now, though. Yeah, big pick, and I'm with you. I like Keegan. I like Trevor Keegan. Got to pay Jergy. I'm worried about that back injury, A-team. I think they're going to wait on that deal because of that back injury. I think they're going to wait on that deal. We'll see what ends up happening. That extension he is eligible, though. He is eligible. Panthers and Patriots are right now the two teams bidding for Milton Williams, it looks like. Looks like Patriots and Panthers are in a bidding war for Milton Williams. Man, it's crazy. By the way, if you're an NFL agent, that's exactly what you want. A bidding war. It's exactly what you want if you're an NFL agent. There you go. Jets signing or Lions. Ooh, Lions. Here's the Lions replacement for Carlton Davis. It's a good one. It's a good one. The Lions make a big move here. Lions are signing former Jets cornerback DJ Reed to a 3-year, $48 million contract. I like DJ Reed. I like DJ Reed. Here's the Javon Holland news. Panthers, Commanders, Colts, and Titans. Major interest. Panthers, Commanders, Colts, and Titans for Javon Holland. Yeah, Lions get DJ Reed. I like DJ Reed. DJ Reed's a good player. 3-year, $48 million. I think that's an upgrade for the Lions over Carlton Davis. I think Carlton Davis got a little bit of age on him. That started to weigh on him a little bit, started to keep him off the field. I think DJ Reed's a good move for them. Good move for the Lions. DJ Reed, 3 years, $48 million. Eagle, cornerback, gone! We just lost Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers is gone to the Vikings. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news. Former Eagles cornerback Isaiah Rodgers reached agreement on a 2-year, $15 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings. The deal includes $8 million fully guaranteed. It was negotiated by Brian Gavin and Ed, whatever, of EMG Sports. Isaiah Rodgers, gone. Gone. Isaiah Rodgers is done. Gone to the Vikings. Isaiah Rodgers to the Vikings. Gone. That's one guy Johnny Mack was wrong on this offseason. Johnny Mack thought the market would be cheap for him. Nope. He got $7.5 million a year. $8 million fully guaranteed. I know why they didn't pay him that, Josh. They probably didn't think he was worth that. Isaiah Rodgers is officially gone. That's not good. Now you have Slay gone. Will Slay return potentially? Does this change what you do? Does this change what you do with Darius Slay? With Isaiah Rodgers gone. 2 years, $15 million deal with $8 million guaranteed for Isaiah Rodgers. So Isaiah Rodgers is gone. Isaiah Rodgers to the Vikings is done and dusted. It's not a huge deal, but we were thinking $4 million for him. Let's be real. We were thinking $4 million for him. We were thinking $4 or $5 million. They need depth. I think they need depth. I wonder if you bring back Slay. Big Marshall says it's Ringo time. Well, Big Marshall, when you're a team who's trying to repeat as Super Bowl champions, you don't go into a season with a question mark on a player like that. I don't think they're going to do that. I'm sorry, Big Marsh. I know it's time for Keely Ringo, but he hasn't shown shit on the field as a good cornerback. Let's be real. He's a great special teamer. He's got great upside. He's physical. He's good at the point of attack. He's fast. He's got range. He's long. No, he has not, Jason A-Team. Jason, tell me why Vic Fangio, in a year where he played Zach Baum for the first time as an off-ball linebacker, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, and rookies on the line and Jalen Hunt, and he wouldn't put Keely Ringo on the field? Okay. Maybe he showed more flash to you, 18, than he showed to Vic Fangio. I don't think so, though. I don't want to go into the season relying on Keely Ringo. I'm sorry, I don't. If you want to, that's fine. If you believe in a player more than me, that's fine. Cobra, Zander is a crybaby. Cobra, then go watch something else, you loser. Zach says, how we going dollar store shopping? Well, Zach, I'm not mad because this is where we are as a team right now, right? You got a bunch of guys making money on offense. we're not really in the position to pay this type of big money to free agents all over the place. So it doesn't surprise me. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I didn't hate on Ringo. I just said you should bring in competition for him. He hasn't proven shit at the NFL level to be a starting cornerback. I mean, Big Marshall thinks, oh yeah, just bring in Kelee Ringo, a third-year, fourth-round draft pick who hasn't played ever in the NFL at outside cornerback. Yeah, just make him your outside corner. You know what? The number one defense will be fine. Just throw Ringo out there. No, I'm not butthurt over it. I thought he was going to be gone. He got more money than I thought, Kenzo, that's for sure. And now I wonder if they bring back Slay. I was saying to bring back Slay at 1 year, $8 million. I would do that deal. I would still do that deal. If you tell me that we go into the season with Slay on the roster and Ringo as the backup, that I like. That I feel better about. I feel much better about that. It's Ringo season and Z's crashing out. I love it. Yeah, good move for the Lions. I agree. DJ Reed is a great move for the Lions. I will say this about Isaiah Rodgers. I'm rooting for him. You know, it sucks he left, but Super Bowl champ here in Philly, made plays for us in the playoffs, fit in with the roster well. I think he did a good job. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to him, for sure. That's a big move. But what do you want to do as the Eagles now? I mean, you want me to sit here and, praise the guy all day? We'll see. I like Ringo. I don't like him as much as you guys do. I'll say that. I don't like him as much as you guys do. Big Marshall says, I want no parts of Slay. I may be alone on this, but he can kick rocks. I'm good. Big Marshall, I get it. I do. I'm just trying to sustain what we were last year, brother. I don't think coming into the year with just Kelee Ringo, shoot in as your starter on the outside corner is the best move. I really don't. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think that's the best move for this football team. But I get it. It's a business. You're going to move on from guys. Slay's 34, 35 years old. I understand that. But, yeah, I think this is now a part of it as well. What did he do about his standing in the locker room? I don't know. Panthers fans saying they might get Milton now. Let's see what happens with Milton. Isaiah Rodgers is gone. Not everybody seems to be upset about it. It's all right. I think it's okay. But, with Slay out the door, I would have felt a little bit better about a camp competition with Isaiah and Kelee. Same way you talked about Nolan. That's fair, Dawood. You're not wrong. I was out on Nolan too. Now, to be fair, Nolan had a little bit more pedigree. All right. Drafted in the first round. Obviously was a highly productive edge at the University of Georgia. Elite athletic ability. A little bit of a different scenario. But you could argue Kelee would have been first rounder if he waited in college another year. You could argue that. I'm cool with that. I was dead wrong on Nolan Smith last year. You're right. But no, I don't think so. Mike says, will we get a comp pick for Rodgers? I don't think so. Maybe, though. Maybe a late. I don't know. Maybe. JT says, Zander got on the blue Kango and Eagles lose two players so far. Put on the Kelly Green. Before we lose Becton, I'll go Kelly Green for the rest of the show. By the way, I'm only going to be live for about 5 more minutes because we got the National Football Show with Dan Cilio coming up. All right? The National Football Show with Dan Cilio coming up in about 14 minutes. And we'll have all the free agency reaction coming in, continuing to come. Ringo is stiff. See, some people are talking about what I see with Ringo as well. He's very stiff in the hips. He's very physical, but he's very, very physical. He'll get pass interferences, and he's a little tight. So starting outside corner might be a big jump for him. That's all I'm saying. Again, I could be wrong, as Dawood pointed out. I could be wrong, Put on the new Kang and stop the bleeding. There we go. Now, I you know what? I don't think this is bleeding. I'm not going to lie. You know, I know there's the instant reaction of like, damn, we're losing players on our Super Bowl team. But, you know, again, this is why I want to get Goddard done. You get Goddard done. You lose Milton, you lose Sweat, you lose Isaiah Rodgers, and maybe let's just say you lose Becton. We need depth on the D-line, and we need depth on the O-line. We're not in a crazy spot right now. Cobra wants the attention. Cobra thinks I'm a crybaby. Yo, Cobra, if you're here and you keep commenting, it says a lot more about you than it does about me. You want to be validated. Just say it, Cobra. You want everybody to say, I know, you're so right, Cobra. Zander's such a crybaby. No, because if you really thought that, you would have left. You wouldn't have kept commenting on my show. You would have left. But it's like an airport. It's like an airport. You got to announce your departure so you get another guy on your side. It's okay, Cobra. Go back to the corner. Okay, Cobra? I've never seen you in the chat in my life. Go back to the corner, Cobra. Go back to the corner. You haven't said one good comment anyway. I was good after ball and everyone chill. I'm with you, Zach. I'm not tripping. I think the team is in a good spot, but it's just the instant reaction of losing him, you know? I think that Hassan Reddick deal, by the way, to Tampa is good. I really do. I think that's a good deal for them. DJ Reed, Isaiah Rodgers gone. Now I'm seeing he's in talks. Milton Williams is in talks with the Cardinals. The deal with the Panthers is not yet done. Woo! We'll see what happens. Philly Don checks in. Rappaport reporting Williams deal not done. Other teams involved, including Arizona. Just saw that, Philly Don. Just saw it, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Just saw it. We appreciate Isaiah Rodgers. Big contribution to a Super Bowl team in Philly. So, good stuff. Kenzo, see, you're not wrong on this. Kenzo checks in. Eagles still have the most talent in the NFL as we stand. Yeah, just got to recoup a little bit. You know, just got to figure out good contingencies at place. You know, I would say right now, my concern isn't even any of the guys that were lost today. My concern would be about at tight end. If you're going to get rid of Dallas Goedert, you got to have it. I think you got to have a good replacement plan. I just do. I just think you got to have a good replacement plan there. If you don't have one, I don't see why moving on makes sense. Temple Todd, there you go. Great scheme for Reddick. I agree. Tim M, I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. Ziggy Zander, you're a crybaby, you bitch. JK, I love you. Yo, Ziggy, fuck you, Ziggy. Come on, Ziggy. I love you too, brother. I love you too. 2 years, 14.2 for Rodgers. What did he get? Now he got 2 years, what, 14 million? With 8 million guaranteed. Cobra, more like Garden Snake. Cobra's down bad. Cobra should be reserved for the Shelby Cobra. Any word on Sweat? Nothing yet, Cody. Nothing yet, Cody. Nothing yet on Sweat. Appreciate the super chats today. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. We got a bunch of people watching right now. Appreciate all of you guys. For those who are new to the channel, we're live all day long. We cover the Philadelphia Eagles all year long. We're live in the morning, 8 to 10 a.m., Birds 365, and 2 to 6 with the National Football Show. We give you the best, real, raw football discussions on the Philadelphia Eagles. You won't find content like ours anywhere else on YouTube. So if you're new here, check us out. Give us a subscription. Try us out for a week. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We appreciate all of you guys for being here right now. We'll see what ends up happening. A lot of moves breaking right now in the NFL world. A couple of big ones. That J.C. Horn deal was big, setting a crazy market for the cornerbacks. Probably helped Isaiah Rodgers get a little bit of money. Uh-oh, my Twitter's not working again. Don't tell me Twitter went down again. Oh, my God, I think it did. I think Twitter went down again. Well, that's not our show. That's Neil. I don't own that show. I don't own that show, so I don't need to give that any love. All right. In fact, I have a bone to pick with Farzi, which I'll see him sometime in April. We have an event, a charity event. I'll see him at. So I'm going to have a bone to pick with him at that. I'm going to have a bone to pick with Farzi. JD3. We're screwed. We're done. We're finished. Now we're good. I like it. Bruce says, Z, what do you think about Jair? A little older than I'd like to go, but I'd almost rather probably bring back Sweat at that point. But I hear you. I mean, what's he going to make? You know? What's he going to make? That would be my big question. Yeah, Twitter is down bad today. Truly is. All right, everybody, I got to run. We got the National Football Show coming up. I got to make sure Sills gets the link, gets everything he needs for production-wise. So appreciate all of you guys checking in today on this special edition of the Zander Krause Show. Hit that like button. I appreciate you all for being here all day long. We've had great content today. And go and check out, coming up, right o'clock, 8 minutes from now, 7 minutes from now. All right, the National Football Show with Dan Cilio. So we are not going anywhere on JAKIB Sports. I just got to go and handle some production as well. So thank you all for being here. Hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.